What's up guys, Thork here, and today is our first installment of the Diablo lore series that I'll be doing. Today we're doing a brief history of the Horadrim, before the Diablo games. The lore of Diablo is a rich and complex tapestry spanning multiple games and novels. At the core of the story is the struggle between the forces of heaven and hell, and the powerful beings that inhabit those realms. The first game in this series introduces the player to the world of Sanctuary, a realm created by the angel Inarius and the demon Lilith, as a refuge from the eternal conflict between heaven and hell. The player takes on the role of a hero who must defeat the Lord of Terror, Diablo, and his brothers Mephisto and Baal, who have been unleashed upon Sanctuary. The second game in the series continues the story of Sanctuary as the player once again battles against the forces of hell led by Diablo, who has been resurrected. The game also introduces the character of the Dark Wanderer, who is revealed to be the hero from the first game, now corrupted by Diablo's power. The third game takes place 20 years after the events of the second game, with the player taking on the role of the Nephilim, a being with godlike powers on a quest to defeat Diablo and his minions, who are once again threatening the world of Sanctuary. The game also introduces the idea of the eternal conflict, the never-ending war between angels and demons and their struggle for control of the high heavens and burning hells. The lore of Diablo also includes a number of other powerful beings and races, such as the angels and demons, the Nephilim, the various classes of characters that the player can choose to play as, each with their own unique history and abilities. The lore of Diablo is ever expanding and changing with new games, novels, comics, and other materials, but today we're going to be focusing on the Horadrim and what they were doing before the Diablo games. The Horadrim were founded by the Archangel Tyrael in order to capture and contain the three prime evils, Diablo, Mephisto, and Baal. Tyrael chose a group of powerful and devout individuals to form the Horadrim, tasking them with the responsibility of hunting down and sealing the prime evils away in ancient soulstones. The organization played a major role in the events of the first two Diablo games. A powerful mage, Tal Rasha, was appointed as their leader, while Zoltun was charged with using the soulstones to capture the demons. Zoltun had been designing what was known as the Cube to aid in the hunt of prime evils. Smiths and mages would begin to lose their sanity over the next few weeks as they were forging the Cube. Although the Horadrim used the Cube to hunt the prime evils, and it was considered to be a necessary tool to complete this process, the Order deemed the Cube too dangerous for anyone to continue to use. It was hidden from even the Order themselves. A weaker Horadric Cube was crafted in its place, and the original Cube was entrusted to a secret sect of barbarians on Mount Airy to protect it and serve as lifelong guardians, even keeping it a secret from their own tribe. With the Horadric Cube complete, the next goal was to capture the prime evils. After waging a taxing assault on the Fortress of Bone, the Horadrim decided Mephisto was the first of the prime evils that they needed to hunt. They fought and defeated Mephisto in the markets of Kyrgyzstan and contained his essence, but lost many lives, which they could barely afford after the Battle of the Fortress of Bone. The battle also cost many innocent lives, so the Horadrim decided to no longer confront the prime evils in a populated area. The Zakarum were entrusted with Mephisto's soulstone, and the Horadrim built them a guardian tower to protect it. The tower was built in Kyrgyzstan to contain the Lord of Hatred 3 levels underground, within the Durance of Hate. Baal and Diablo crossed the Twin Seas to the desert land of Aranoth. For 3 days, Baal took refuge within the walls of Lutgolin, while the Horadrim waited so that they would not harm innocent lives again. On the 4th day, Baal went north for miles into the desert until he was attacked by the Horadrim. During this battle, Baal destroyed the Soulstone with an attack and fled. Tal Rasha caught up with Baal and battled him until the rest of the Horadrim had arrived. In this second battle, Baal was subdued and sealed within a fragment of the broken soulstone. It was decided that the fragment may be able to be contained within a human body by fusing the shard with a human, leaving the host to mentally battle the demon for eternity. Tal Rasha stepped forward to volunteer and was damned to become the next host of Baal. Tyrael led the Horadrim to a burial chamber, jamming the soulstone shard into Tal Rasha's heart. Tyrael then ordered the Horadrim to bind him within the chamber to guard Baal from escaping. This is where you find Tyrael in the events of Diablo 2. Now that Tal Rasha had passed, Jared Cain became the leader of the Order. The search for Diablo began as the surviving Horadrim followed his trail of terror. They confronted Diablo and his demonic army in Kanduras, and imprisoned him within a soulstone, which was hidden in a cave system near the river Halsend. This is the river that runs through Tristram in Diablo 1. With their task complete, the remaining Horadrim built a small monastery and catacombs within the caves. After Diablo's capture, Zoltun returned to Kyrgyzstan to pursue his studies of magic. Rumors spread that he was conducting experiments in an archive under the desert and that they had something to do with an object called the Black Soul Stone. It was believed that he wanted to duplicate the power of the Soul Stones and wield it for himself, bringing the wrath of both heaven and hell to Sanctuary. The Horadric mages went into the depths of the library of Zoltun Kulle and were ultimately struck down by him. He resurrected their bodies and used them as undead slaves. The remaining Horadrim later entered the library and found Kulle to have achieved immortality through his experiments. His soul could not leave the mortal plane, so the Horadrim had separated his body, storing his blood in 2 separate places and sealing his headless body in the Shadow Realm. The Order never truly recovered from the battle with Zoltun Kulle, and as time passed they lost many numbers in their ranks and had faded into obscurity. So that is a brief history of the Horadrim before the events of the Diablo games. As you guys know, they serve a major role in Diablo 1 and 2, and there's much more to the story, so we'll get into that on some more episodes of Diablo lore. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to doing a ton of more lore videos. Hopefully you guys like this as much as I like doing it, and I'll see you on the next one.